Hi there, this is Jen, and thanks so much for stopping by today. Today I am doing a fun video all about digital stamps and the reasons why they are amazing. And so these are basically 10 things about digital stamps that maybe you weren't aware of, or if you're on the fence, or if you're just not sure about digital stamps. I'm going to go over some of the things that I think are amazing about digital stamps. And so the first one is no clutter. And I know for me that I have been through I don't know how many different ways to organize my stamps, and I have finally settled on this, and I actually love this. But when I get too many stamps, I don't purchase another bin to put more stamps in. I do, however, purge stamps that maybe I don't use, which is a good thing. But when you have digital stamps, you don't have to worry about that. You just have to make sure there's room on your computer to store them. They're very easy to organize. And I'm not saying I will ever get rid of my physical stamps, because I do love using physical stamps as well. I like having that in my hand. But as far as cleaning up the clutter and the packaging that comes with a physical stamp, a digital stamp is basically just downloaded on your computer. You can organize it. I have mine organized by a company, and so I just go into the folder that of the stamp set that I want to use, pull that stamp up and edit it in my editing programs. If you're interested in me doing a video more on how to work with digital stamps, I would be super happy to do that. Just let me know in the comments below if that's something that interests you. But basically they're zip files and super easy. It's all on your computer. It's very easy to move around and organize and open. And so that is one of the first benefits of digital stamps. The next benefit is getting it in a zippy. You get it in a zip file as well as immediately. So this is great for those last minute cards maybe that you don't have a stamp for. And so it's easy as purchasing a stamp. You immediately can use it versus waiting for ordering it online for a physical stamp, where you're going to have to wait for shipping and handling. And so that could be anywhere from 3 days to, depending on where you live, quite a while. So that's the next benefit. There's also a benefit to your pocketbook. In general, digital stamps almost on every occasion are going to be less expensive than a physical stamp. And for the amount of things you can do, like taking one image and making it like a billion sizes, it is super cost efficient to purchase digital stamps. One of the other great things about digital stamps is being able to layer without really any effort at all. So I've basically taken my stamps that I'm working with, which is a digital image and then a sentiment and some other little elements of the honeycomb. And so I'm taking the sentiments and I'm just layering them behind the bee, and this is as easy as taking your mouse and dropping and dragging things around to see how you want them on your card panel. And if you're just starting out with digital or interested, there are a lot of companies that offer free digital images, so you can kind of get your feet wet a little bit and see if you're going to like it enough to purchase more stamps. And in the description below, I'll leave some of the links for where you can find some free digis, as well as some of the digital stamp companies and creators, so you can find that listed below. And the next amazing feature about digital stamps is you can resize them to virtually any size that you want. So I have a 6x6 card text box up on my screen, which is what I like to do when I'm creating my panels. Is I like to create a text box with the size, so I know where my elements are going to fit on my card. And so for this one, I'm using that bee image, and I am making it to fill the entire card. You could take the image and make it smaller and fill up the background, so you're basically creating your own background. So it's super easy to do, and that is one of the great things about digis. And number 6 is perfect every time. Unlike a stamp, which can have quite a few mishaps in the stamping process, from peeling the stamp off of the backing to getting it lined up on your card to handling the ink. And this is kind of a dramatic representation of some of the things that can happen when you are using a traditional stamp. And although all of these mishaps probably aren't going to happen on every single card that you create, it does happen. And I know for myself, even with stamping with a MISTI, there are times when the paper moves when I go in for that second stamp and I get that blurred out image. And so with a digital, you're not going to have that. It's going to be a perfect image every time. And so here is a few little mishaps: dropping the ink, getting the ink on my fingers, and then transferring that ink onto my card panel. And then last but not least is stamping up that image and not getting a clear, crisp image. Again, a digital stamp, you're not going to have that problem unless you run out of ink in your printer. So that is one of the great things about digitals, is perfect every time. And the next one is no mirror, no problem. So mirror stamping is one of those things that can take a while to do, to master, depending on what technique you're using, and it doesn't always turn out the best. But with a digital image, in whatever program you're using, there should be a feature that allows you to flip the image. And so that is all I am doing, is I've copied the original image and I am flipping it horizontally, and that will give me my mirror image. And it's as simple as that, and just placing it wherever you want it on the card. So those two cute little mermaids are now facing each other instead of facing away. And number 8 is multiples in minutes, which is basically being able to create 4 panels fairly quickly. So I have an 8.5 by 11 size in my word processing document, and I have divided that up into 4.25 by 5.5 panels. And so I'm going to go ahead and create my a background or my image for my first panel, and then after that all I have to do is group these images together and copy and paste, and that will fill in the other 3 panels that I have set up here. And that's 4 cards that you have created fairly quickly, that just need colored, or however you're going to finish those cards off. There's no masks required, and this is one of my favorite things about digital images, is that you can layer the stamps without having to mask anything off. So this is as easy as using the features in your word processing program. I'm going to arrange this and send that image to the back so that she appears behind the 2 images in the front. And it really is as easy as that. No stamping a mask, no you putting the mask down. If you did need to create a mask though for coloring or whatever you're going to do in the background, it's super easy to do that. I would just print off an extra image, cut it out, and then use some temporary adhesive to place it over the image that you wanted to mask out. But if you just wanted to do kind of like a single layer card, super easy. And the last but certainly not the least benefit of using a digital stamp is no waste. And there's a fair amount of waste when you have a physical stamp, all the way from the manufacturing side to the inserts, to the plastic packaging, to the packaging that it's being mailed in. So there is a lot that goes into the waste for a physical stamp. And I know I try and reuse as much as I can of that, but I have so many now that I am ending up throwing them away, and that is not ideal, but that is just one of the things that you're not going to have with a digital image. You're not going to have that waste that comes along that entire process. So that is one of the great things about digital images. And as I close out, I am just showing some of the projects that I've created using digital images. There is another great thing about digital images that I find I really love, and that is most times you know who created the art that you are using in your cards or your projects or whatever you're doing. I love knowing that I am supporting this designer or this illustrator in their creative journey, in the fabulous job that they get to do in their wonderful artwork. I love being able to know that when I purchase something from them, that it is going right to them. And so that is one of the big advantages for me personally of purchasing a digital stamp. And I will have some of those designers linked below, so please do check them out. There are some amazingly talented people with some very, very beautiful designs. And I will also have some of those freebies listed, so you could try and kind of take a test drive to see if it's something that you would enjoy. But if you don't catch on immediately, don't give up on yourself. It's kind of the same as stamping. It kind of takes a while to get into and kind of learn what to do. And it's the exact same with digital if you haven't worked with them before. So I encourage you to kind of try them out a few different times and see if it's something that you're interested in. I absolutely love the benefits of using them. Like I mentioned previously, I'm not going to get rid of my physical stamps. I absolutely love those too. But this is just another way to expand your card making arsenal without breaking the bank. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it or find it informative, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I would love to hear what you think about digital stamps, if you use them, or if you have any questions, please let me know. As always, thank you so much for stopping by today, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks so much.